Right, the president, again, I want to get back to that issue I missed when I was out yesterday, but it is one I think that will be watched very closely by business historians, and that is how this president is focusing on walloping Amazon. And keep in mind, as President of the United States, if he doesn't like a company or doesn't like a particular industry, he has set his sights on this giant retailer right now and going again with the notion that it is somehow hitting the post office. Now, keep in mind, the post office, as long as I can remember, was losing money, long before Amazon came into being. But again, targeting a high flyer like this, at the same time, there are reports that he has invited Vladimir Putin to the White House. Well, it's just odd. You know what I mean? Like, Putin comes to the White House, one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world, an American by birth, Seattle, that counts as being American, is being targeted. It is just so incredible. Here's someone else who's incredible, the former Ronald Reagan budget director, David Stockman, what he makes of this tit-for-tat and trade wars going on. You know, this is something, not to politicize this, we usually hear out of Democrats, right? We hear John Kennedy going after the steel industry, Jimmy Carter went after big drug manufacturers, that sort of thing. This is very, very different, though. This is one president targeting one company. What do you think of it?
Well, the argument is that Trump is pro-business, and that's a mistake. He's pro-Trump. And by pro-Trump, I mean whatever comes into his mind.
Hold on, David. I just want to alert our viewers. This is a never-Trumper alert. This is a never-Trumper alert. Go ahead.
No, but whatever half-baked idea comes into his mind, he tweets it out, runs with it for a few days or weeks, and then moves
Well, let's start now. We should know
now,
for a long, long time he's railed against Jeff Bezos in particular. He has said that his wealth has really been built on, you know, taking advantage of a system and a relationship with the post office. That's too many sweet deals. Now, without getting into that, I think his real problem with Jeff Bezos is the Washington Post. Well, he owns that, and the Washington Post has been very critical of this president. But what do you think of the whole thing?
Well, I think he's right about Amazon for the wrong reason. It is a predatory monster that is destroying value, jobs, businesses, assets all over America.
You sound like you're not a Prime customer.
I am a Prime customer, and I use it a lot.
So why are you whining? What's the problem?
What I'm telling you is it is so absurdly overvalued that it's given...
But that's not my point.
No, but it is an important point.
You think that's what he's talking about?
No, no, no. My point is not about the post office. Yes, there's a little bit of subsidy there. Get rid of it. Post office ought to allocate more overhead to this package business because it's more expensive. But that's minor. The big problem is when you tell Bezos that he can run a profit-free business and the market cap goes from $200 billion 4 years ago to $750 billion. In other words, a $500 billion gain with no profits in the entire e-commerce business. All the profits they make.
Well, they're making a little bit of money.
No, 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 they're not. All the Neil,
so
the
you
truth,
do think the president's
is,
right?
I would like to document this because the listeners don't get this often. The minor profit they're making is from AWS, the cloud business, totally independent of what we think of as Amazon and shipping everything 24 hours from A to Z. That business had $160 billion of sales last year and lost $200 million of operating
But that's not
income.
what the president is saying.
Well, I know.
I know what he's been.
Yeah.
And I agree. There are many who by the way, are equally leery of companies that have run up and quintupled and risen tenfold with very little to support what's going on there. Now, there are others who will argue the point Amazon deserves the attention it's getting and the response it's gotten, but that this comment made by the president, first of all, it's not his role to do that, and this sounds more like a vendetta than anything else.
Well, I agree. President shouldn't be commenting on companies. President shouldn't be meddling in the economy with
Well, your old boss Ronald Reagan did with the Japanese and dumping chips on our market.
Yeah,
right?
And that was a big mistake, and he was bamboozled at the time when they all came in, a little kind of conspiracy in the cabinet, browbeat the Japanese into agreeing for voluntary quotas on auto exports.
The Japanese did. They did do that, right?
They beat the hell out of him, and then they came in and told the president that they voluntarily agreed, and he said, oh, isn't that wonderful? Well, that isn't the way it works. But this is much worse. This is kind of across the board. Donald Trump has been a protectionist since he started speaking publicly in the 1970s.